Wow, Salesforce news this week has been a whirlwind. A big partnership announcement, massive investment, and strategic play in a booming tech market.
Yeah, you said it. It's been a lot to keep up with.
Let's unpack it all, starting with that Salesforce Google Cloud team up.
Mhm.
We're talking a $2.5 billion investment to integrate Google's Gemini AI into Agentforce.
Not your everyday partnership, right?
Definitely not.
This could be huge for Salesforce. They've been mainly an AWS customer, but now, well, this shows they're really getting serious about multi-cloud.
Giving customers more options.
Yeah, flexibility, and potentially, challenging Microsoft's Copilot a bit.
Speaking of Microsoft, Mark Benioff didn't exactly hold back, did he?
Not really.
Calling Copilot inferior and, highlighting some customer dissatisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Salesforce is ready to go head-to-head in the AI space.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
And with Gemini integrated into Agentforce, well, that could become a really powerful tool.
I mean, imagine feeding images and audio into Agentforce.
Right.
Getting insights from Google search in real time. And AI agents handling, even more complex tasks.
It's way beyond just answering basic questions.
Okay, but for someone who's maybe, not super techy, break down this agentic AI thing for me.
Sure.
What does that even mean? And how is Gemini different from all the other AI out there?
Well, think of agentic AI as a highly proactive, autonomous system. Instead of just, responding to commands, these AI agents can actually anticipate needs, take initiative,
Yeah.
and learn from their interactions to continuously improve.
So it's learning as it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And Gemini stands out because it's multimodal, meaning it can process different types of input, like text, images, audio, even video.
So it got a much more complete picture, right?
Exactly, a more comprehensive understanding of what's happening.
So give me some real-world examples then. How could this actually help businesses? We're talking more than just streamlining customer service here, right?
Oh, definitely. Imagine an AI agent that analyzes a customer's product photos and instantly recommends solutions, or provides tailored info.
Wow.
Or think about an agent that can listen to a voice recording from a customer,
Uh-huh.
understand their emotional state, and actually adapt its communication. That kind of personalized, proactive service could transform customer experience.
It sounds pretty impressive, but is there a downside, to relying so heavily on other companies' technologies,
Yeah.
right? What if that relationship goes sour?
That's a valid concern. While, leveraging Google's expertise gives Salesforce a huge boost, it does create some dependence.
Yeah.
It'll be important for Salesforce to maintain that balance between collaboration and independence, for long-term success.
And we're already seeing companies making the move. Wayfair, Accenture, they're migrating their Salesforce apps to Google Cloud. Salesforce services are on the Google Cloud Marketplace. But just last week, Benioff he was denying needing any new cloud partnerships.
Right.
What do you make of that?
Well, the tech landscape changes fast. This could have come together quickly, or maybe it was in the works for a while and Salesforce was just keeping it quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it shows how fast things move in tech.
And that makes you wonder what other surprises are right around the corner. Before we move on, though, what was your initial reaction when you saw this? Surprised, intrigued, skeptical? Let us know in the comments.
Speaking of surprises, Apple, right?
Right.
Their recent announcement of a $500 billion investment in the U.S.
Huge. Got everyone talking, that's for sure.
It did.
And a big chunk of it's going towards building a 250,000 square foot facility
Oh,
in Houston
Texas.
to produce AI servers for Apple Intelligence.
And this isn't just any factory.
Definitely not. This is significant for a couple reasons. First, it shows Apple's commitment to U.S. manufacturing,
Mm-hmm.
especially for these servers, which were previously made overseas,
Right.
bringing production back home, strengthens their supply chain. And it also aligns with, the government's push for domestic tech production.
It's a win-win, really.
It is. More American jobs potentially eases some of those trade tensions.
Exactly.
Didn't President Trump actually thank Tim Cook publicly for this investment?
He did. And it's interesting how this fits into Apple's overall AI strategy, because these servers, they're the foundation of their Apple Intelligence and private cloud compute systems.
It seems like you're getting serious about developing their own AI infrastructure.
Yeah, They're putting their money where their mouth is, right?
Right.
Not just with this server factory, but, also doubling their advanced manufacturing fund.
$10 billion.
Part of that's going to TSMC's Arizona fab, where they're producing those Apple custom chips.
So they're investing heavily in both the hardware and the software sides of AI, from specialized servers to chip production and even a manufacturing academy in Michigan, I read, to train the next generation of tech workers.
It's a long-term play for sure. They're building a whole AI ecosystem.
Okay, real talk. Were you on the Apple Insider forums after this news dropped? Some of those comments, I was dying. One person was like, ready to swim the Atlantic for a job at that Houston facility?
Oh, yeah. The enthusiasm's understandable. I mean, thousands of new jobs is a huge deal. But some people were, skeptical about whether production would actually shift to the U.S. And there was that debate about the $500 billion figure. Does that really cover all their spending in the U.S., like down to the paper clips?
That's a fair point. It's a lot of money. It's a bold move from Apple, though, wouldn't you say? It raises a lot of questions.
Definitely. And it'll have ripple effects, I think, throughout the whole tech industry, especially for companies involved in AI hardware and chip manufacturing.
It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
For sure.
This is where you come in, listener. What do you think will be the biggest impact from this? Is it the boost to U.S. manufacturing, the advancements in Apple's AI, or something else? Let us know in the comments. All right, let's hop over to the Middle East. Salesforce is making some big moves there, too, with a $500 million AI investment.
Wow.
In Saudi Arabia.
Interesting.
This was announced at the LEAP 2025 tech event, and it's got some pretty interesting implications.
It does. This really highlights Salesforce's, global ambitions and their commitment to expanding into these new markets. They're launching their Hyperforce platform there, which is, a public cloud infrastructure designed for rapid scaling and global deployment. And for this one, they're partnering with AWS for the underlying infrastructure.
Hold on, AWS.
Yeah.
So now they're working with both Google Cloud and AWS.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a little, contradictory to their, big partnership with Google?
Well, it might seem that way, but it actually shows a really smart strategy, I think. By going multi-cloud, Salesforce isn't putting all their eggs in one basket, right?
Oh,
they're diversifying their infrastructure, tailoring offerings to specific markets.
makes sense.
And they're potentially even gaining some leverage, in their negotiations with these cloud providers.
So it's all about flexibility, adaptability.
Yeah.
Maybe playing the field a little bit. But what's the draw of Saudi Arabia specifically?
Well, Saudi Arabia is going through, this rapid digital transformation right now. They've got a booming tech sector. It's a high-growth market with a lot of potential for a company like Salesforce.
And, of course, there are always challenges.
Right, complexities.
To navigate in that.
Exactly. And one of the key parts of this investment is adapting Agentforce for, Arabic speakers, which is more than just a translation. You have to understand all the cultural nuances, linguistic specifics.
It really shows that Salesforce is serious about localization.
Yeah.
Creating a product that really connects with the Saudi market. They're not just trying to sell the same generic solution. They're actually investing in building a platform that feels native, caters to the needs of Arabic speakers. So to our listeners, what do you think? Is this Salesforce trying to, dominate the Middle East CRM market? Or is this just one piece of a much bigger global expansion strategy?
I think it's probably a combination of both. Salesforce is ambitious, clearly, and they see AI as key to their future growth, right?
Yeah.
Expanding into these new markets like Saudi Arabia. It lets them reach new customers, diversify revenue, and just solidify their position as a global leader in, the CRM space.
It has been a wild week of Salesforce and AI news, hasn't it?
It really has.
We had a huge partnership with Google Cloud,
Mm.
a massive investment from Apple in U.S. manufacturing, and now this strategic play in Saudi Arabia.
It's pretty amazing to see how it's all changing the tech landscape. We're seeing AI, cloud computing, global strategy, all converging at warp speed.
And with Salesforce leading the charge, the future of CRM and enterprise AI, well, it's looking pretty exciting. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Be sure to subscribe for more insightful analysis of the latest tech trends and news, and we'll catch you next time.